Hello viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Dristhi IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. Dear viewers, in this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus. Then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Hindu published on 22nd of February 2021. The title of today's editorial is Time and Perseverance. If we try to link today's editorial with our UPSC syllabus, we can link it with the section that includes science and technology, and dominantly in that we will see about space and development of new technology in space sciences. If we try to summarize today's editorial, we can say that the Mars mission will test out technologies to help sustain the presence of humans there. Some key points of today's editorial, but before that, it is important to see that this is the image of the rover which is present there, about which we are going to see, about which we are going to study further. Some key points from today's editorial. The possibility of life on Mars has excited the imagination among the scientific community. The current thinking is that life may have existed on the Earth's ruddy planetary neighbor a long time ago. Understanding this will enrich our studies of evolution and nature of life outside the Earth. Now viewers, with the recent Mars mission conducted by NASA, there is a tremendous amount of excitement among the scientific community. The people are of this opinion that with this mission, we will get to know about what was or what exactly were the symptoms of life that were present in Earth's neighbor. Also, we are talking about how exactly life must have been there, or dominantly we are talking about finding the signs of life. So with reference to this, the NASA is quite excited about that to happen. The recent NASA mission Mars 2020 that was launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida on June 30th, 2020 landed on the Jezero crater in Mars on February 18th to much celebration. Now, this entire mission, what exactly is this entire mission? So viewers, before we move ahead, it is quite important for us to actually see what exactly NASA is. So NASA is National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Now they have sent a rover named as Perseverance, which has landed on Mars. Now this is a very crucial aspect. The entire mission is known by the name Mars 2020 mission. Now some key points about this entire mission. Now, the mission is designed to better understand the geology of Mars and seek signs of ancient life. The objectives are to assess ancient habitability, also to demonstrate technology for future robotic and human exploration. Now, the entire duration of this mission is at least 1 Mars year. Now, 1 Mars year is equal to about 387 Earth days. Now, what would be the various steps in this mission? Now, number one step that would be is to collect samples. Okay, to collect data. Now, Perseverance Rover will collect rock and soil samples in cigar-sized tubes. The samples will be collected, the canisters will be sealed and left on the ground. Second is to fetch. A Mars Fetch rover provided by the European Space Agency will land, drive and collect all samples from the different locations and return to the lander. The third one would be to transfer. The samples thus collected and fetched will be transferred to the Mars Ascent vehicle, which will meet with an orbiter. and the last would be to return. So all the samples which have been collected by the orbiter will be returning to the Earth. Now, some information about the most important participant here, that is the Perseverance rover. Now, Perseverance is the most advanced, most expensive, and most sophisticated mobile laboratory sent to Mars. It is different from previous missions. Why? Because Perseverance is capable of drilling and collecting core samples of the most promising rocks and soils and setting them aside in a cache on the surface of Mars. The launch, like I said, happened on 30th of June 2020 and it landed on the surface of Mars on February 18th. The landing site was the Jezero crater. Why Jezero crater? Because an ancient river delta that has rock and minerals that could have formed only in water. Now, what exactly is going to be the power source of Perseverance? Now, the power source of the Perseverance is said to be a multi-mission radioisotope thermoelectric generator, that is MMRTG. Once again, I'll say multi-mission radioisotope thermoelectric generator. It will convert heat from the natural radioactive decay of plutonium into electricity. Now, there are various instruments which are present in Perseverance. They are 7 in numbers, along with 2 microphones and 23 camera in total, in order to conduct unprecedented science and test new technology on Mars. Now, some of the important instruments are: number 1, MOXIE, MOXIE, MOXIE. Now, what is MOXIE? Mars Oxygen in situ utilization experiment. So this will use power to produce oxygen using atmospheric carbon dioxide. If it is successful, it can be scaled up to provide the 2 very critical needs of human. Number 1, oxygen for breathing, and number 2, rocket fuel for the trip back to Earth. The next very important instrument there is the RIMFAX, RIMFAX, the RIMFAX. The RIMFAX is a radar imager for Mars subsurface experiment. The RIMFAX will provide high resolution mapping and also look for subsurface water on Mars. After that, Mars helicopter. Mars helicopter. It is actually a small drone to test whether the helicopter can fly in the sparse atmosphere on Mars. The low density of the Martian atmosphere make the odds of actually flying a helicopter or an aircraft on Mars very low. Then there will be an advanced camera system with panoramic and stereoscopic imaging capabilities which will determine mineralogy. Now that would be known as MASTCAM Z. MASTCAM Z. Then there will be another instrument which is a SuperCam. It can provide imaging, chemical composition analysis and mineralogy at a particular difference, or you can say at a particular distance out there. Then there will be PIXL, PIXL, which is planetary instrument for X-ray lithochemistry. Now, it is an X-ray fluorescence spectrometer and high-resolution imager that will provide capabilities that permit more detailed detection and analysis of chemical elements than ever before. There will be an analyzer known as MEDA, MEDA. MEDA is Mars Environmental Dynamics Analyzer. Sensors are present in it that will provide measurements of temperature, wind speed, direction, pressure, relative humidity, dust size, and shape. Now, if we are talking about Mars here, so some important information about Mars as well. So Mars is the 4th planet from the Sun and the 2nd smallest planet in the solar system. Mars is about half the size of Earth. Now, what exactly is the similarity of Mars with Earth with reference to orbit and rotation? As Mars orbits the Sun, it completes one rotation every 24.6 hours, which is very similar to 1 day on Earth, that is 23.9 hours. Mars' axis of rotation is tilted 25 degrees with respect to the plane of its orbit around the Sun. This is similar with Earth, which has an axis tilt of around 23.4 degrees. Like Earth, Mars has distinct seasons, but they last longer than seasons on Earth, since Mars takes longer to orbit around the Sun. The Martian days are called sols, S-O-L-S, short for the solar day. Mars is also known as a red planet because it has colors such as brown, gold, tan. The reason Mars looks reddish is due to oxidation or rusting of iron in the rocks and dust of Mars. Mars has the largest volcano in the solar system, that is Olympus Mons. Quite important from your preliminaries perspective, Olympus Mons. It's almost 3 times taller than Earth's Mount Everest, with a base the size of the state of New Mexico. If we speak about atmosphere, Mars has a thin atmosphere made up mostly of carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and argon gases. Mars has 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos. Okay, so this is something with reference to the Mars 2020 mission. Okay, and some information about Mars. So let's go ahead with our editorial. Of special magnificence was the entry, descent, landing of the mission's Perseverance Rover, described as the shortest and the most intense part. Now, the biggest challenge that was in this Mars was the landing of Perseverance Rover. It was described as one of the most intense part of the entire mission. Entering the Martian atmosphere, why exactly it was considered as intense? Because entering the Martian atmosphere at a speed of about 20,000 kilometers per hour, the mission had to bring the Perseverance rover to a halt on the surface in just a second. So the entire time that was with the scientists to land the Perseverance rover was just 7 minutes. Also, since it takes 11 minutes for a radio signal to reach the Earth from Mars, the mission control could not really guide the landing, and the rover had to complete the process by itself. Now, another challenge was that the rover had to land itself without any assistance from the Earth. During the complicated landing process, using a camera eye, the rover checked the ground to avoid hazardous terrain, all in a few breathtaking minutes. Now, most important, like I said, the most complicated one was the landing process. Now, with the help of the camera that was present in the rover, it itself made sure that it is landing on a soft side and not on any hazardous terrain. So these entire moments were considered as one of the most breathtaking minutes in the history of space technology. If we speak about the present scenario, NASA's exploration of Mars has focused on finding traces and trails of water that may have existed and relate it to finding evidence of ancient life. Now, the most important reason, like I said, the objective associated with this mission was to find traces and trail of water, traces of life and trail of water, which could actually give a hint or sign towards what kind of or what form of ancient life would have been on the planet Mars. In its earlier Mars expedition, which carried the Curiosity rover, landed on August 5th, 2012. Now, in one such another Mars mission under Curiosity rover, NASA landed this rover on 5th of August 2012 on the surface of Mars. It identified regions that could have hosted the life. According to Curiosity rover, there were several ideas that were presented by the scientists of NASA that chances are quite high that according to Curiosity rover, they have identified several places where life could have been possible. Expected to last at least the duration of one Mars year or about 687 Earth days, the science goals this time are to look for signs of ancient life and collect rock and soil sample. Again, the objective, what exactly Perseverance has to do? Perseverance has to look for the signs of ancient life and also collect rock and soil samples for a better understanding. Perseverance take the inquiry made by Curiosity to the next level and search for signs of past life by studying the Jezero crater. The crater was chosen for study as based on an earlier aerial survey. It was found to be home to an ancient delta. Now, reason why Jezero crater has been selected, because according to the aerial survey that was done by NASA, it was found that the Jezero crater has a delta. So definitely chances are quite high that we could actually extract or find out some ancient form of life. Clay minerals and carbonates were seen, making the crater a good place to search for life's existence. The way forward. Further, the rover will study the geology here and store samples in a place that can be accessed for future missions which would return them to Earth. Now, like I said, there are various stages. Like I said, first of all, data will be collected, then it will be fetched, okay? After that, it will be provided to an orbiter and the orbiter will come back to Earth. So, the entire idea would be to study the geology of Mars and also to find maximum from the samples that would be collected by Perseverance Rover. The rover will test out technologies that could help sustain the presence of humans there in the future. Now, it has been said that rover will be using various things, like I said about the instruments. So there will be various tests on to see whether the atmosphere of Mars, if induced or if put by several other technologies, that whether it can handle or it can sustain the presence of humans or not. This includes an instrument to extract oxygen from the atmospheric carbon dioxide, about which I have told you in the beginning of the video. The rover also carries a helicopter named Ingenuity that is specially designed to fly in Mars' thin atmosphere. I also spoke about this helicopter. The idea, because according to the thin atmosphere of Mars, it is not possible for a helicopter to fly. So the helicopter named Ingenuity will actually be demonstrating flight on Mars. So that exactly is its sole purpose. Again, very important from your prelims perspective. They can ask you about what is the name of the helicopter that has been sent. Finally, to the question where little green microbes did inhabit Mars in the distant past, only time and perseverance can answer that. So as far as the life and life symptoms that we are actually looking for, whether the Mars supported life or not, it is only present in time to come. And obviously, it will be perseverance which can give a better answer to us regarding that question. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. A question that can be framed with reference to today's editorial is, what are the various missions carried out by various space agencies of the world on Mars? What are the various findings from these missions so far? So viewers, I hope you liked today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much.